Liam had always dreamed of traveling abroad, but he never had the time, money, or courage to do it. He lived in a small town in northern England, where life was slow, predictable, and safe. Everyone knew each other, and every day looked exactly like the one before. But deep inside, Liam felt something was missing, a sense of adventure, a chance to see the world beyond the familiar streets he had walked since childhood. One cold Monday morning, he received an email that changed everything. It was an invitation to attend a 3-day international workshop in Barcelona, Spain. His boss believed Liam had potential, and this trip could give him the experience he needed for a promotion. Liam stared at the message for several minutes, his heart racing. Traveling abroad sounded exciting, but it also made him nervous. He had never flown before. After thinking for hours, he finally clicked accept. The next 2 weeks passed quickly. Liam bought a suitcase, upgraded his passport, and practiced basic Spanish phrases. He watched YouTube videos about airports, security checks, and international flights. Despite his preparation, he still worried about missing his flight or getting lost in a foreign country. The night before the trip, he could hardly sleep. He kept checking his flight ticket, his hotel confirmation, and his travel documents. At 4 a.m., he gave up on sleeping and headed to the airport early. At Manchester Airport, Liam felt overwhelmed by the crowd. People rushed from one place to another, announcements echoed from every corner, and bright screens displayed flights from all around the world. He took a deep breath and said quietly to himself, "You can do this. Just follow the signs." At security, he accidentally left a bottle of water in his bag. The security officer smiled and said, "First time flying?" Liam laughed nervously. "Is it that obvious?" "It's okay," she replied kindly. "Happens to everyone." Once he passed security, he felt a little more confident. He found his gate and waited for boarding. The moment he stepped onto the plane, he felt a mix of excitement and fear. The seats were narrow, and the air had a faint smell of coffee and jet fuel. Liam sat near the window, fastened his seatbelt, and looked outside as the engines started to roar. When the plane took off, his stomach dropped. But as he looked down and saw the world getting smaller, something inside him changed. The fear slowly melted away, replaced by a quiet sense of wonder. He was finally traveling abroad. After 2 hours, the plane landed in Barcelona. Warm sunlight poured through the windows, and Liam felt the temperature difference immediately. The air was fresh, soft, and warmer than England. Palm trees lined the airport road, and the signs were written in Catalan and Spanish. He smiled to himself. This was a completely new world. At his hotel, Liam checked in, dropped off his bags, and decided to explore the city. He walked through the narrow streets of the Gothic Quarter, where old buildings touched the sky and sunlight streamed through tiny gaps. Musicians played guitars on street corners, and the smell of fresh bread and roasted coffee filled the air. That evening, he entered a small cafe and ordered café con leche. The waiter asked, "You're not from here, are you?" Liam shook his head. "No, first time abroad." "Well, welcome to Barcelona. Enjoy every moment." The workshop began the next morning. At first, Liam felt shy and uncertain. People from different countries spoke quickly, using words he didn't recognize. But slowly, he adjusted. He introduced himself, shared ideas, and realized he could communicate better than he expected. His confidence grew with every conversation. On the last day, the group visited the famous Sagrada Familia. As he stood in front of the cathedral, its towering architecture glowing under the evening sun, Liam felt a powerful sense of accomplishment. He had traveled alone, survived his fear of flying, explored a new culture, and learned more about himself than he ever imagined. That night, sitting by the beach, he took out his phone and sent a message to his boss. "Thank you for believing in me. This trip changed me. I'm ready for more challenges." When he boarded his return flight to England, he was no longer the same person. The world felt bigger, brighter, and full of possibilities. And as the plane rose into the sky, Liam looked down once more, but this time, he wasn't afraid. He smiled and whispered, "This is only the beginning."